Why do some big-name authors in the fantasy genre struggle to finish their series? I'm not going to name any names or throw anyone under the bus, or in a fantasy setting, I guess it would be under the wagon, but it's in the title, isn't it? Whoops.
No fluff writing advice. Cut the fluff!
George R.R. Martin is famously, can I say, refusing to finish his Song of Ice and Fire series and give fans the satisfying conclusion they want after the wagon wreck that was the Game of Thrones TV series. He hasn't said he won't finish it, but at this point it seems like he's just running out the clock. And when fans express concerns that he won't be around to finish his series, he takes offense. I mean, they don't even know the guy personally. Isn't it kind of cool that they care at all? They don't want this author they've never met to die before finishing his series because they love his books. Isn't that a positive reaction? So, what's Georgie Boy's response to fans concerned about his health? His words? Fuck you to those people. I mean, some celebrities get death threats, and he's getting anti-death threats. I like your books and I hope you don't die. What? Fuck you! Another famous non-finisher is Patrick Rothfuss, author of the Kingkiller Chronicles, or what there is of them. He's so close to finishing too. Unlike George R.R. Martin's series, which could easily take another 3 morbidly obese books to conclude, for Rothfuss, the finish line's in sight. 1 book left in his initial trilogy. That's it, which makes it a more interesting, not to mention frustrating case. Imagine running a marathon and getting to the finish line, but before you cross it to the sound of cheering and fanfare, you just stop and say, I don't want to run anymore. What? Why? You're at the finish line. But running's hard. Yeah, but you're a runner. You signed up for the race. We're all here to watch you finish. Don't want to finish. So, why might an author struggle to finish their series? Procrastination seems to be a big one. Both George R.R. Martin and Patrick Rothfuss have released other projects, so it's not like they're idling. They're just chasing whatever project feels good at the time, not necessarily the ones fans want. And with his fan-forecasted death hanging over him, can you really blame George for just doing what he wants to do? It's his life. When you buy a book, you just own the book, not the author. That's right, isn't it? But there is a lesson here around discipline. If you want to complete a project, you need to set aside dedicated writing time with 0 distractions. None. No shiny objects. Stay on task. As a professional writer, I spend hours every week working on stuff I don't want to work on. But I can't just claim writer's block and not do the work. As Rothfuss famously and now quite ironically said, plumbers don't get plumber's block. Okay then, go be a plumber. So, why does Paddy's head plumbing appear to be blocked? Apparently he's experienced some mental health issues. I don't know the exact details, but that could explain the lack of progress. Depression could easily prevent someone from summoning the will to write. And when you're depressed, you basically have to brute force discipline. Look, I can't imagine he wants to be in this situation, and we shouldn't be too hard on the guy. But I do wish authors would talk more openly about their struggles. One, it lets eager fans know exactly where they stand, as in, will they ever get that book they were promised? Sometimes we just need closure. But it would also help us writers. What happened? Could one of us fall into the same trap? Can we have the details of the trap? Even better, escape the trap and give us the escape plan too. That'd be the ideal conclusion to this whole saga. Let's aim for a satisfying ending. Author anxiety, perfectionism, and imposter syndrome also affect some authors. They may feel like their work could never meet their own high standards or the perceived standards of their readers. With imposter syndrome, they may feel like a fraud, like they got away with it, maybe tricked readers with their first few books, and releasing another would reveal the ruse. If mental health issues are holding an author back, frankly, they need to address those issues. Now, I'm no mind medic, so don't look to me for advice on that one. No fluff mental health advice? No thanks. Look, it could be as simple as both writers wrote themselves into a corner and don't know how to get themselves out. Less a corner and more fallen into a deep, dark well. And when you fall down a well, what do? You try to climb out. If that doesn't work, you call for help. George, Patrick, if you've fallen down the well, call for help. I assume both authors are financially well off now, so why not hire someone to help them finish their series? Is there ego involved? I get that. You don't want someone coming in and getting their grubby fingers all over your beautiful story, but I'm sure both authors could find someone who's up to the task. Just leave Brandon Sanderson out of this. He's got his own books to write. We don't want to create another non-finisher now, do we? I also wonder if financial success is a factor. They don't need to finish their series. They're already set up financially, so the hunger, literal and figurative, might not be there anymore. So here's a tip for aspiring writers: be poor. Easy one, yeah? If you are a fan of a non finishing author, anger doesn't solve anything. Authors are human too. I mean, most new books are probably written by AI, but some authors are still human, and they're going to do human things like procrastinate, get depressed, or decide they don't want to write anymore. And if a series doesn't get finished, great, create your own ending in your head. Better yet, write it down. Put those grubby fingers to work. With no official ending, I guess whatever's out there becomes canon of sorts. This could end badly, literally.